Hey y'all, welcome to Cruising with Cheryl and Eric. I'm Cheryl, this is Eric.
Tonight we're going to talk about when to cruise where. Basically, what months are good for which types of cruise. Came up with a list of maybe half a dozen major cruise markets around the world. We've probably forgotten a couple, but I think you'll get the general idea of what we're talking about. So, this way you know when to cruise to what particular region of the world. So Here we go. First up, we have
That's the worst.
the Caribbean, arguably for the citizens of the U.S. anyway, arguably the most popular destination for cruises. So busy time of year for Caribbean cruises is generally November to late March, early April. That's the high season. The most expensive season, the most crowded season, but also the most offerings, the most ships going on the most, itineraries. We try to recommend to people that they avoid, to some degree, at least August, September, and October, because that's hurricane season in, the Atlantic and the Caribbean. If it's particularly if it's your first cruise, I wouldn't recommend going to the Caribbean during those months. If you're a little bit more seasoned and you understand that itineraries change, ships change courses, and stuff's going to happen, then feel free.
Yes.
And also, we kind of try to avoid late March through April for cruising in the Caribbean, just because it's
popular for spring break.
Yeah, spring break time. So if you are going to cruise during that 6-week period of time, give or take, I highly recommend at least a 7-night cruise. If you do a 3-night or 4-night or 5-night, you're going to have hundreds of spring breakers, trying to get to their alcohol limit by noon, So if that's what you like, have at it, have fun. But if you don't like that, then, go on the longer ones, because the kids only have off, college students pretty much only have off a week in general. So they're not going to be able to go on a 9-nighter type of thing. Our cat is playing in the background.
No, he's annoying my sweatshirt.
In the background.
Yeah. Alaska is another popular destination. Mm-hmm. Oh, too cold. So the best time would be mid-June to mid-August. It's the prime season. Mm-hmm. Shoulder season is May through mid-June.
Beginning to mid-June, yeah.
And mid-August through September. It's less expensive and less crowded, but it's colder. Right. So bring your winter coats, people.
Now, the upside of doing I'm sorry, hon.
No, I was just going to move on to the next one.
Well, I want to add a point. Is that okay? The upside to the shoulder season, so the May and then September, is the chances of seeing wildlife are higher because it's not as busy, so the animals are more willing and able to come out. They're not hiding from the tens of thousands of loud, noisy people.
Like him. No,
next up,
spring, because I'd be excited to see wildlife.
Australia and New Zealand. The land down under, their seasons are pretty much opposite ours here in the U.S. So their prime season is their summer, which is November to March. Now, being where it is, it's pretty much warm there year round. So you can go there whenever you want, but their busy season when it comes to cruising is usually, pretty much the same as the Caribbean.
Next up would be Asia. The best time is September to November.
The Mexican Riviera. So in other words, if you're not familiar with what that is, that's the west coast of Mexico. So Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, that area, very similar to the Caribbean because the weather is basically the same. High seasons November to March. April is great weather, but it's loaded with the spring breakers. So, yeah. Anyway,
Hawaii.
Next up.
September to March.
Again, Hawaii's, it's Hawaii. You can go there anytime, but there tends to be the great best temperatures.
My favorite.
Oh, yeah, your favorite.
Canada and New England. Technically, the end of May, in my opinion. But mid-June through August is peak season, and May and September are considered shoulder seasons because they're colder. Shoulder is colder. What?
But, if you're like we went
in May.
I thought we went in April.
No.
We went in May. Okay. And the one day was really cold. But the rest of the trip wasn't, temperature-wise, it wasn't bad.
No, it was Peggy's Cove. It was really, really cold.
Yes,
windy,
it was.
Rainy.
Oh, yeah. The wind blowing off that water was
nasty.
awful. Yeah.
Poor Ellen.
Yeah.
I mean, poor me, but I was a little
but we were kind of used. My sister lives in Florida and has been in Florida for 20 years. So going up into Peggy's Cove, which was, I think the high that day was like 34 degrees, and it had like a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming off of the water. She was not a happy camper.
Somebody else was cold too. But...
I was. I'll admit it. I was, but I also only had a light jacket with me. I didn't think it was going to be that cold, so I didn't pack properly. I
was cold as well, but I was semi-prepared.
Semi-prepared, but you were still cold.
Because it was cold.
Next up on the feud, Panama Canal. Again, November to April, that's kind of the busy season. What else can you really say? That's the best time to go.
The Mediterranean river cruises, the best time.
Mediterranean and European river cruises, not Mediterranean river cruises.
I thought I said it, and river cruises.
No, you didn't.
Right, let's back up. Mediterranean and Mediterranean river cruises.
No? The Mediterranean and European river cruises.
Oh.
Mediterranean's a body of water. Rivers, not.
So anywho. Thanks, Sheldon. The best time is from June to August. That's the premier time. April through May and September and October.
They're kind of the shoulder season, right? Yeah. And again, it depends on, where you're going in the Mediterranean. Southern Mediterranean will be warmer longer. Northern Mediterranean, So, Baltic, speaking of northern, July and August, prime season. You can go in, the other, May, June, September, but again, shoulder season, colder, less people, less money, your choice.
The Galapagos Islands. Did you know the Galapagos Islands are named after a tortoise? Okay. December to May it's the warm and wet season. June to November is cool and dry.
So again, year round, but two different types of climate. So if you want it warmer, then you want to go December to May. Yes. If you don't mind a little bit of coolness, a little bit of briskness in the air, because you prefer it drier, then you don't want to go in the rainy season. So
no.
All right, and that's pretty much it for the when to cruise where. Now that you know when to cruise, check out this video we recently did about 35 things you can do for free while you're on that cruise. What? Yes.
Yes. I was there.
You were.